talking about really the infiltration of our systems of government and our research systems. I mean, what you're finding, I mean, what Luigi talked about is how can you have every single scientific body in Australia supporting the patenting of life? I mean, I know what you mean about the petitions, but what has become clear to me very sadly is that you look at who's doing the GM wheat research. It's the University of Adelaide and CSIRO. Oh, well, that's okay then, because there's universities and there are, premier research things. And then you dig deeper. Who's funding the University of Adelaide? There's all these really toxic network connections between big business and the University of Adelaide, or any university. And then you look at the CSIRO. Well, the I in that is for industry. You can look at the Future Food Partnership that's doing the GM wheat. It's advertising for corporate dollars.
Can I just say, I would focus on the manufacturers and the people that are selling it more than the government, because they're so sensitive to even a little bit of perceived, people don't like it, they're going to stop buying our products. That's really made a huge difference. That's one thing. And also the food labelling review that we talked about, that's made a recommendation, but it hasn't yet, the government hasn't yet made a decision on that. And so you can contact the Federal Health Minister, Nicola Roxon, and say, well, we actually want the labelling laws tightened before that makes a decision late this year.
Some of the greatest discoveries and some of the greatest inventions that were ever made have never been patented. Vaccines, never patented. Penicillin, never patented. Right? And so what this means is that we don't need patents to actually throw and drive innovation. What drives the patent system are monopolies. And the reason why these people, like Monsanto's and et cetera, Pfizer, it doesn't matter whether they're pharmaceutical or chemical or agricultural, they're the same. They come out of the same mould. They want to monopolise and control. And if we really want innovation, if we really want to solve our problems, we won't give these people these monopolies, because that'll be the end. So what he was saying was right. We need to go back. He's actually got a good point.
The GM crops are soy, corn, cotton, canola and sugar beet at the moment, but they are doing a lot of testing. But what it is very sinister is that as we were told in the film, basically the chemical companies bought up the seed companies in the 1990s, and the top seed companies that control about 70% of the market are Monsanto, Dow, Syngenta, BASF, Dow and DuPont. Yeah. So, and if you think about that, they don't make you think, oh, seeds. They make you think chemicals. So what's really, really important is to get hold of heirloom seeds, to really start up seed swapping, trying to really diversify our seeds, because that, as I think came out in the film as well, that is how we're going to preserve our future. We need diverse seeds, and we need people saving them and swapping them and sharing them. There's a website called the Office of the Gene Technology Regulator, and if you go on there, they've got maps of the trial sites. And you're completely right, is that all these things are happening, and you go, oh, trials, that's okay, we don't want to stop science, we'll have a trial. But if the crop that's being trialled has wild relatives or has crops growing near it that could be cross-pollinated, there is a risk of that outcrossing. And we've seen that, like what happened in Canada with flax. The Canadian farmers caused such a stink about the potential commercial release of GM flax that it was shelved. But what had happened was that somehow or other, and there are various stories about how it got out, it polluted the Canadian flax crop, and then testing was done in Germany and it was rejected. So you're right, there could be, and also there was testing of rice in the US, and that outcrossed, and Bayer have been paying out hundreds of millions of dollars to the US farmers who lost their ricing. So I think this is very, very important to think, not to just think, oh, testing's okay, it might be something good, to really understand that there can be contamination, and there needs to be, if they're going to do open air testing, there needs to be really, really rigorous controls about that, and they need to be followed up, and frankly that hasn't happened.
Again, thank you to everyone for coming tonight. What we do here at the chapel every Wednesday is we organise a dinner and a movie night. So we generally show some sort of environmentally themed movie to do with the transition towns model. The transition model is aimed at transitioning from a fossil fuel-based economy onto local, more resilient economies. One of our biggest projects at the moment is for food security. And what we're doing with that is we've developed community gardens and a footpath verge planting program. It's called Eat Off the Streets. There's going to be a lot more action when it comes in the next few months. We've already got a few footpath gardens trialling on Bonara Avenue up the road here. We've got a communal garden at number 241 Bondi Road. All the information is going to be on the flyer if you want to grab a flyer, or it's on your popcorn box that you would have got in your seat. So feel free to come down every Wednesday. We usually get here at around 6. We start cooking. We cook all the produce from the community garden. A lot of the stuff tonight is from either from local farmers, through the Food Connect organic local delivery boxes, which we get delivered here on a Wednesday. So you can order those online. And we use that for the meals, and then we also have food from the community gardens, and people bring their own produce, and that's what makes our Wednesday night meals. So it's a completely local, organic, healthy, wholesome meal, and we all get to watch a video, and we talk about the video, and we share about the video. So I hope that we can all come back on a Wednesday night.